Alright everyone, welcome back. We are having our 5v5 round out against Celestial Empire. Match 5 is now beginning with NeoBuster using Royal Paladin versus Alduin using Shadow Paladin. And give me one moment because I need to go let the cat out of my room.
As this match is going, it actually reminds me of Ren's reaction when he saw that Xian was using Royal Paladin. He smiled so much. And that was the only clan that gave him that reaction. I can't think of him ever fighting Gear Chronicle before now, but when he saw Royal Paladin, he just smiled and went like, Royal Paladin, huh? That was an interesting moment. And now we have to see what happens in this match. I'm keeping it alive for the team no matter what, but you know, so much better than alone.
So what is this?
Diablo.
Okay.
Oh, that unit, Caden.
I see
when it is.
I'm reading it now.
I can explain it.
No.
I'm the Paladin man.
No, you're not allowed.
I am Paladin man.
No, you're not allowed. Fine, you can explain it because I don't feel like reading it. I also want to see this.
Okay. On Generation Break 1, if your Vanguard is Diablo, grade 3 or more, you can, once it's retired for a cost, it gives the Vanguard 5,000 power and also gives the Vanguard the skill when its attack hits, you can call a grade 1 from the deck. If a grade 2 named Hole is also on the field, when that happens, then the unit called by that ability gets an additional 5k. So if you retire these for a lot of skills, you can give the Vanguard a butt ton of power. And if you're using it with Spectral Duke, which restands, then it has all that power and it restands. So yeah.
Knight of Light Order is really pretty.
Oh yeah, she is. And that is the usual tactic. Oh, he's not doing that. He's not doing that. Okay. I was 90% convinced that he was just going to keep that in the back row so that Neo couldn't attack it. But he's going the aggressive route, and he wants that thing to fight. Now, this is Whole. What it does is, every time a grade 1 is called, and your Vanguard is Diablo, it gives itself and the Vanguard plus 3k. So, just like Nurse of Broken Heart, the only difference is, if you call Caden specifically, then you can unflip 1 and soul charge 1.
I see.
As well as the 3k. So yeah, someone looked at this clan and thought, you know what this needs? It needs a Broken Heart. Let's do that.
Broken Heart only gets 2k and it doesn't have anything with counter charge or soul charge.
Yeah, so they decided, let's make a better Broken Heart.
Well,
with Shadow Paladins and chains.
Shadow Paladins don't call things during the opponent's turn, right?
No.
Well, that's where Broken Hearts come in, because then I can have damage power.
True, but Shadow Paladins in general are just an offensive clan. They're more meant for offense. We knew this was gonna happen.
So was Sligo called during Brave?
Salgo was called at Brave, if I remember correctly.
So even if he attacks like that, he still gets the draw because it activates at Brave?
It activates at Brave to give itself the skill.
Okay, so it
It
doesn't matter.
keeps the skill even if Brave is disabled.
Okay. I also want to see that perfect guard. I want to see it. It was pretty.
That perfect guard is actually really amazing.
I want to see it.
If you decide to call a bunch of stuff to the field, then it has the ability Brave to counterblast 1, gives itself 2k, so it's an 8k booster instead, and goes back to hand at the end of the turn. So if you want to drop your entire hand just to be Brave, you don't lose your perfect guards.
I want pretty thing. I want to see the shininess. That's still a cute card.
I mean, he's eventually going to have to guard with the perfect guard anyway, because he's at 3 damage and stuff is about to happen.
So that's not a Diablo. No, it is not.
No, that is an Aura Geyser, which means he's going to give himself GB2, so he can do Diablo things later. But do keep in mind that anything that needs a Blaster or a Diablo Heart does not activate. By the way, Spectral, the Stride, is literally called Dark Dragon,
Spectral Blaster Diablo?
Spectral Blaster Diablo.
Yeah.
So it is a Blaster and it is a Diablo.
It is indeed.
So even if you are using Clarent, if you stride into that, Hole, Kayan, and even this Charon will all work.
Charon! Yay! Pretty!
Now here's the problem, is that Neo does in fact need Counterblast, and the Brave Perfect Guard does not refresh his Counterblast. And he just put himself into a very, very, very dangerous situation. Understand that if this match goes to the next turn, then we will see Diablo. It will restand. And shit will be wrecked. Stride, the next generation.
Nova.
I mean, that's better than what Shion actually said.
Do I want to know what he actually said? I haven't been keeping up with the anime.
He said Stride, the generation. Which doesn't sound right at all. You should watch the anime, Nat. You have the ability to.
Good point. I have to go back to, like, episode 2.
Of Gear Crisis?
I think it's actually episode 4 of Gear Crisis or something silly.
So you saw the Aquaforce stuff.
I stopped at the episode where Shion in the beginning was dressed up weird. Something for his family.
That's episode 4 because that's
I was right. I was totally guessing.
Yeah, because that's the episode where he takes over his family name.
Yeah.
And then gets fucked over.
Yeah, it was that stuff.
Did you actually see him get fucked over?
Nope. I just knew that was the beginning. And I couldn't figure out why
why the YouTube subtitles weren't working.
Yes, because it was on my phone.
Yeah, if you had ever told me that was the case, I would have literally told you that's a setting you have to change.
Oh well, too late. My bad.
Don't tell me things.
Nope.
This is why you should.
Never. So, Power charge is a thing where you can literally put your entire hand away.
Yeah, and be brave.
And be brave. And then at the end of the turn, you get them back.
You get it all back
and you
draw
get to draw a card. That's so cool.
And Sonic Go will also let him draw one and unflip two, because after triple drive, he's going to be brave, because he doesn't run draw triggers.
Aren't you still in Brave anyways? Like, because there's no cards in hand?
No, what I mean by that is even after the triple drive...
he can't go out of Brave. Yeah. Okay.
Even after triple drive, he'll only have 3. That's what I mean.
I see. Please stop with the arrows. Arrows make me sad. Thank you. He's not actually on the call, right? I don't think so.
Either he's muted or he's not here.
He's probably not here.
He's muted.
Oh.
The call says he's here. Whether or not he can hear us is a different matter.
Good point.
And I have no way to know from here.
Let's assume he can't hear us because I think... I mean, you weren't necessarily coaching, but...
No one here was actually coaching.
You were just pointing out tactics that were interesting, I guess. So, he uses Sonic Gall to draw a card, counter charge 2, and then he gets all his cards back, plus another draw, because of the power charge? Okay.
Yeah, he'll get everything back and then draw an extra 1.
I see.
So even despite just being brave, his hand is this.
Good lord.
This is what brave is.
See, I'm not a gold paladin user. I'm not any paladin user, so I don't understand how these things work. Plus, I haven't been on card fight in literally weeks.
I mean, I could literally... I could teach you how to paladin if you wanted.
I don't want to know. You can teach me to paladin so I know how to combat it, but I don't actually want to.
I think I should teach you.
We have another person who takes 10-minute turns just to think. I'm not alone.
Well, pretty much he's wondering, will Diablo end it this turn or should he do something else?
Yeah.
Because he probably could ride Blaster Dark, Diablo, stride into Phantom Blaster Dragon, retire 1, and then force Neo to retire his entire field.
Oh.
He's also wondering if he should just ride into Blaster Dark Diablo, then stride into Spectral Blaster because it will still count for Spectral skill, because Spectral's exact skill is Soul Blast 1, retire 1, I believe it was, and flip a copy of it, and flip a G unit, any G unit, it literally doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gives himself the skill of, after his attack, he can counterblast 2 and retire 2
that's
to
a
rescan.
Vortimer.
Okay, so he's deciding to Vortimer. So Vortimer's on ride skill, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, to call a grade 1 from the deck. Specifically a grade 1, not a grade 1 or lower, just a grade 1.
Okay.
And then after that, he can stride into Diablo. And then, if you look at the Generation Break 2 skill, which he does have access to, when he strides into a G unit with Diablo in its name, he can search his deck and call a grade 1. Then, if the heart is...
You mean, and then if that unit is Spectral
Then if the stride is Spectral, he can search for another grade 1 and call that as well. And then the second unit called gains 3k. The first call gets 3k too.
And the units called with this effect, is it?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they both get 3k.
They both get 3k. So that's the first one, and then that's the second. Yes. And that counts because...
Even though it is a grade 2, as long as it is in the deck and the Vanguard has Diablo in its name, its grade is -1, making it a grade 1. However, as soon as it is out of the deck, it is not considered a grade 1, which means if he had Hole on the field, it would not get 3k from that, because it would be considered calling a grade 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Did I miss what happened to Kaiden?
Kaiden had to be retired for the Generation Break 2 skill, because retiring one is a cost for that skill. And because it was retired, plus 5k was added to the Vanguard, as well as the skill I told you about before.
I see.
So now he did the Soul Blast one and retire one, so that he could get the unflip, so that he could get that skill. He would have had the ability to call one as well, but he chose not to do it. You have the option of choosing not to do it. So keep in mind, this gets triple drive, and if it does hit, he'll call a grade 1 from the deck, and it'll get plus 5k. And since the behind Vanguard is vacant, he'll put it there.
And it doesn't call it rest, right?
No, it does not.
Okay. I guess Shadow Paladins kind of stopped doing that.
Yeah, the only Shadow Paladins that still do that are Revengers. But that's because the things that they call are literally put there to die. So now we can counterblast 2, retire 2, and then Duke stands. And after it stands and attacks again, it only has 1 drive check.
So this only has 1 drive now?
Yes.
But it has that booster?
Yes.
Okay. Angels should get a restander. I'm kidding.
I mean, anything can happen in the next set since they are getting support.
Oh, right, we are.
But I would call bullshit if they get a restander now.
What? Don't lie. There's so much other shit that has restanders that's not cool.
And that was a heal trigger, but it wasn't a crit, so Neo can take this.
That has a crit, though.
When did it get a crit?
The first 3 drives.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
So giving it heal trigger power, not good. He had a lot of perfect guards ready this turn.
He has... Then that's the unflipper, so he can unflip one.
Yeah, because he does have one in the drop. I think he's out of perfect guards now.
Does he only run 3?
He has 4 in the drop.
Oh, I forgot about the first one. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 sentinels. So he has to win it this turn, but
if he doesn't win it this turn, his opponent will either do that stuff again or Phantom Blaster.
He's fighting an uphill battle. Oh, what is this, by the way?
That is the Moral Knight, Orhan.
Oh, this is the Brave Searcher. This is the Brave Searcher.
Yeah. And since the Perfect Guard has Brave, it means that they can search for a Perfect Guard, just like Neo-Nectars can with their Bloom Searcher. Although the difference is that the Bloom Searcher is a lot more broken, because it also searches on Rear Guard.
And so here's the second kind of Altmile.
This is Transcending the Heavens, Super Saiyan 4 Altmile.
Nova.
I'm sorry, Super Saiyan 3 Altmile.
God damn it. God damn it, Neo!
I don't know if that confirms he can hear me, or
I know, that's
if he
exactly
just was thinking the same thing.
I don't know, there's so many questions. So what does this do? Counterblast 1, choose a face-down card, and you choose it and turn it face up. If you have a heart with Altmile, this unit gets, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, search your deck for 1 grade 2 card, call it to rear, shuffle your deck, and that unit gets 5k. until end of turn. And, so the and is when this, during your turn, all units in your front row get 2k for each face-up card named Aerial Divine.
Yeah, it gives itself 2 skills.
There's 3.
It gives itself
There's 3.
Yes,
I'm assuming that's
is.
a typo, kind of. Soaring Divine Knight is Aerial Divine Knight.
Yeah, they mean the same thing. It's one of the translation fuck-ups. Aerial Divine Knight Ultimile is the real name, but Soaring Divine Knight Ultimile was one of the first translations.
Oh.
And for some reason, Area loves going by the first translations and never changing it, even though that's where the Maiden of Ranunculus Asha thing comes from, which is a problem because
that
makes
the
you
same
think
thing.
it can do things that it can't. Yeah, that's another problem. Because that makes people think it's a Maiden of unless they actually know the card outside of this program. There are a few problems like that. So he just called a unit. He decided to call the Slayman. Slayman gains 6,000 and also another 5,000 from being called by Ultimile skill. No guard by Alduin, so a double crit could end this.
That's a heal, not a crit.
Well, it gives Neil the ability to live next turn, but that's not really what he's going for right now.
That wasn't a crit either.
So if I was Neil, I would stop attacking the Vanguard completely.
Why? Because then they would have counterblast for things?
Spectral Blast or Diablo needs 2 counterblast.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh. So it does. Doesn't Phantom Blaster need something?
He needs 1 counterblast.
Oh.
But Restander versus heavy attacker.
So heavy. I think Neo understands that too. I'm not really sure. I wouldn't know what to do.
I mean, it's like, do you want to deal with a Restander that can hit for insane amounts of power, or something that hits for insane amounts of power, has 2 crit, but will only attack once? Not an easy choice.
Does Slayman call things?
If it attacks the Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and discard 1 in order to call something from the deck. A grade 2.
Oh, so when the other one attacks, then he can counterblast 1, call something, so then that can be boosted. Okay.
Yes. He has the option of doing that.
But it's, even though it doesn't get the 5k from the alt mile, it still gets the 6k from the continuous skill.
Yes, because it is a continuous skill. They will always get the plus 6k.
Okay. I am learning!
Yes. Yes, you are. So now Alduin is picking and choosing what he has to guard, because if he wants to not be at 6 damage, he has to make sure that he takes only 1, and he is still dealing with massive amounts of power and lots of battles this turn, because that's just what this deck does. So what I assume here is that he'll guard
this. Take Mantle?
Yeah, that's what I assume would happen.
Even though Mantle can unflip, if he can at least, do things next turn, then it would make sense.
Yeah, but at the same time...
Okay.
If Alduin lets that hit, he's prepared to not give Neo a next turn.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, it wouldn't matter. What was that full charge, by the way? That was a crit. As long as it wasn't anything. Well, I guess that would have been important. He could have gotten a damage trigger.
I mean, he could have gotten a damage trigger, and it could have helped him, but As long as they're not heals, that's what's important, because he doesn't have perfect guards.
Yeah.
So we know he's gonna have to take at least one attack. The question is, what will that one attack be?
1, 2. You gotta heal this past turn, right?
Yes.
He has 1 heal in deck.
He also only has 12 cards in deck.
Good point. Zero perfect guards, 1 heal, 5 cards in hand. Let's do this. I hope this match ends within the next 4 minutes. So I'm gonna be really sad. Not. I know. I'm not sure if I should quick leave and hope I catch up in time.
I would say pause it now, then leave, wiggle, and come back.
Alright, hold up. Alright.
So now
I'm in the middle of catching up. Now I'm in the middle of catching up.
Alden is just thinking about what he wants to stride right now, so you might catch up before stuff actually starts happening.
I really, really hope I do. So everyone who's seeing this fast-paced bullshit, I'm sorry. CFA kills spectators for not moving within 30 minutes, which is what...
Trust me, people know that from what happened when you were fighting.
Yeah, but since I'm recording, I didn't want to miss anything, so I'm really hoping... Yeah.
Because if she DCs, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So what just happened now is he discarded 2 cards in order to activate Stride. Discarded 2 grade 2s to do it.
Okay, I'm almost there.
And decided to go into Dark Dragon, Phantom Blast, or Diablo.
Alright, I just got there. I'm here. I'm caught up.
Okay.
That is a lot of Stride fodder.
So here's the thing. Neo has to take the Vanguard. There's no ability to not take it.
But the Vanguard has a crit.
Yeah, that's the problem. If Alden crits, it's over. But he can't block the Vanguard. It's not possible.
Oh boy. So he has to guard the rear guards first?
Yeah.
But on Phantom Blaster... Oh boy.
Why?
Okay. No. Okay.
He is resolved to guard this Vanguard now.
Oh boy.
But, of course, that also means Alden can take advantage of this and say, if you want to guard this so badly, I'm going to force you to retire 2 to guard it. Of course, the fact that he retired his booster means that Neo might be able to guard.
$26, $36. That's 1. That's 2.
That's all he can afford.
Oh boy. Judgment Day is coming! Is he going to risk it?
He's probably not, just because if he gives it to Rio, then it's over anyway.
I think he's thinking... Oh, power to... Yeah, okay. He's gonna put power to Vanguard, crit to the Painter.
Yeah. So even if he doesn't get it, the Painter has 2 crit.
Oh my gosh.
Neo lucked out. Here's the thing, though. The Painter only needs 5k to block.
I really hope he doesn't have all grade 3 in hand. We're okay.
Because thanks to the draw trigger, I didn't have any doubts that I was disconnected for doing nothing. Now it's my time to catch up.
Good job.
Okay, I drew a grade 3 with the draw trigger. I got so lucky.
So he is here. But holy shit. The problem is, you kind of need things in hand to call if you're going to use them.
Not really. He actually is fine.
Well, Neo's alive. We know that much now.
I just shit my pants.
Neo is hyping himself up because if he had given everything to Rear, what would have happened?
He would have won.
Yeah. I honestly believed in all my heart that he was going to give it all to Rear, because that was the smartest thing to do in that situation. I don't think he was counting your hand properly.
$8K to the front row. Counting cards really quick. Wait, where are you?
Go ahead, I'm playing catch up right now.
What are you counting? How many triggers you have?
I'm counting my stands.
There's two. There's 2 in your damage.
And none in the drop, apparently, unless I'm blind.
I can double check.
Okay, there's none in the drop. That's a good sign.
How many stands do you run, by the way?
4.
So almost half of your deck... Oh no, if you have 2 here, I'm dumb. So you have a 1 in 4th, roughly-ish chance to get a stand.
No, that 4...
It's in the...
Well, keep in mind, he did... Yeah, I was going to say, he did counterblast for the skill, so he's going to bring something out.
Oh, so he could look. Now you officially have a 1 in 4 chance.
Triple drive.
Yes, you got one! You had a 1 in 4 chance. You beat the odds. I would have laughed if you got the other one.
I mean, a 1 in 4 chance when you try 3 times. That's pretty good odds.
Alright, so Nova and Neo get to play the rest of the game.
I need a break. I need a minute.
Well, my fight is happening, so that's your minute.
Yeah. Next match.